Just the three of us. We can make it if we try. Just the three of us. I feel like we gotta do. Hello.
Hey.
Welcome back to another episode of the Me MaDukes Podcast. Today is just us.
Just us three.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about today?
So today we can do whatever we want to do today.
It's just us.
The
Nobody
guys
can tell
are
us
not
no.
here. It's just us. We can talk about all types of girly things, and they won't have nothing to say. Us, they're not here. No, let me stop. Yeah. So today we're just chilling, very chill, laid back. One of the things I was thinking about lately is what makes it difficult for young women to talk to their mothers. You know, because I would like to think, or I would hope, and I guess every parent thinks that I'm the type of parent that my girls can come and talk to. Why are you laughing? I'm the type of parent that my girls can come and talk and tell me anything. But yet, in your minds, y'all don't always feel like that's the case or that's true. You know, and it's it's a little bit heart-shattering, you know? What would make you guys think that y'all can't come talk to us?
One, I said the first thing that immediately came to my mind was we automatically see you guys and we're like, we grow up with this notion that you guys are super women, you're strong and you can do anything you put your mind to. So when I'm thinking about the negative context, like things that we're like, we feel like we can't come to you because we're like, I just lost it.
Well, I take it. I'll come to you. I take it as a little bit of what you're saying, though. We look at. I feel like
it came back.
Our moms look at us like we're the little babies and we're the little girls, and they see us in a certain way. And I feel like when we ask them certain stuff or tell them things, I feel like we feel like they feel like that's a lot.
That's a lot of feelings.
If you feel like we kind of are seen in a different light, basically. So I feel from me, I feel like if I tell mommy something, she might see me a little bit differently or look at me differently, and then I tell her something and she's like, "Oh, okay. Well, how did you think about that? Or where did you get that from?" Then you gotta go into it, and it's just awkward. It's just a lot of awkward and a lot of what's the word? That's like certain taboo topics that I really feel like it could be helped with just talking about it a lot more. It's always gonna be awkward. It's always.
I think there's a lot of presumptions.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's a lot of what you think your mom is going to say, you know, versus the truth about what might happen.
Yeah. And go back to me, what I was saying. So, like I was saying, we look at them as strong and independent women and they can do all things. And we want to be just like them. So, we don't want to tell them that we're struggling and what we're going through. Because we think, if my mom can do it, so can I. So I don't have to tell her all the things that I go through. So trying to be just like you guys.
It's also, in a way, I also feel like, so all of us here, we're believers. We believe in Christ and we're Christians. Yes. And it's just, sometimes you feel kind of ashamed to ask certain questions or admit certain things because you don't want to feel like a failure or like you messed up or you disappointed somebody.
Oh wow, that's good. That's a good one.
A trigger the enemy. He gets you to hide and cower behind your emotions, thinking, oh, she's not gonna accept you if you tell her this, and she's gonna judge you if you tell her that, and we kind of keep it to ourselves even more.
Yeah, and I think that's an isolation. That like you said, that's a tactic of the enemy, where he's always trying to get us to isolate. He's always trying to get us to think that we're the only person that's going through whatever it is we're going through, that's dealing with whatever it is that we're dealing with. Your mom don't understand. She's never been through that, and it's all lies. But the most important thing about being a Christian or just being a believer, I don't even know if I want to say being a Christian. I guess we are Christians. But being a believer, one of the biggest thing about being a believer is you're not perfect. You know,
Things happen.
things happen, life happen, you know, we're having a human experience, and perfection is definitely not the goal. And I don't think God expects us to be perfect, you know. And sometimes there's expectations, yes, you know, and I feel like we have to set expectations, because if we don't set expectations, then anything goes, right? But I don't think those expectations mean that we expect you guys to be perfect.
Right.
You know, and I think it's a working through, because there was a time, or I can understand from a certain perspective, where you can have the notion of where, as parents, sometimes we can expect our children to be perfect when we aren't, you know, or we can have a higher expectation for them than what God has of us as his children, you know. So as God's children, he expects us to fail, but he expects us to come back, and he's always forgiving. He's a forgiving God. As a parent, you know, he expects that when we fall down, he is there to comfort us and get us back up. But sometimes as parents, we expect our children to be not perfect, but we expect them to attain a certain standard of expectation that we have placed, you know.
Right.
And sometimes that can make it hard for you guys come talk to us. But the thing about being a believer is we all make mistakes. And some of your struggles could have been some of my struggles at one point, or some of your future struggles could have been things that I've overcome, you know. And just keeping things to ourselves, let's just throw that out the window. Let's, you know, I would really like for us to change, how do you normally say it, Jazmine? You say normalize failure. Let's
That's
just
how I
normalize
normalize
it.
it?
No, you say normalize whatever.
Oh.
Whatever is different. Whatever you want to see change. Like the other day you said normalize. Let's normalize making vision boards in the middle of the year. You know, and that was good, because people make vision boards at the beginning of the year. So my point is, let's normalize being human and having a human experience, and being able to talk to our parents about it, being able to talk to each other about it without the feeling of shame. But I get it. That is the major tactic of the enemy, which is to make you feel shame, make you feel ashamed of whatever it is that you're going through, whatever it is that you're dealing with. And then because you feel shame, you keep it to yourself, and then you don't operate in wisdom or knowledge, because now you're just going on what you think.
Another thing that just got brought to my attention is, or that I just remembered, is you're not in the same, parents aren't in the same age group as us, quite obviously. And we see our friends as the more what am I saying?
Relatable, easier,
or related.
The easier to go to, because we feel like they're our age. Most likely they're going to be going through what we're going through. They're going to relate to it more, and not thinking about how our parents, probably like Mama was saying, went through it and have the more wisdom. But we go to our friends because it feels more natural and more right. So we go to them instead of going to our parents. So that's another thing that just got brought to my mind.
And I think you guys go to, but when you think about it, is you go to your friends, they don't have no experience in the
But we don't know that. In our thinking, we're like, they're gonna tell me what I want to hear, and they're gonna be there to listen to me and everything. Sometimes we don't think our parents listen to us, so we go to our friends, and
or it goes back. We get scared of what our parents are gonna do.
Yeah.
I guess when you go to your friends, there isn't the same level of accountability as when you go to your parent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but there's also not the same level of wisdom like when you go to your parent, you know, because your friends can't necessarily help you to navigate, you know, or get out of some of the sticky situations. And the weird thing about it is, if it's something major, it's going to sooner or later require your parents' intervention. It's going to sooner or later, require your parents to get in there and try to help you solve the situation. So I feel like it's better to go up front. Especially, parents want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. And we are learning how to handle some of the things that we hear from you the first time. just like you guys are probably learning how to come to us. So the same way we have to give you guys grace when you do come to us and tell us things, y'all have to give us grace for us to hear those things and process it, or hear those things and deal with it. And I know sometimes as parents, our initial response is just to freak out.
Yeah.
Our initial response is just to freak out. But that's mostly because we don't know. And we're like, what is happening here? Like, how did this happen? You know, and then we have to back it, because a lot of times the decisions or some of the things that you guys got yourself into, we've spoken about. You know, we would have told you, don't do this or don't do that or whatever.
Another reason we don't go to y'all.
When you do get into it, we're like, our immediate brain is like, I told you not to do that. What is going on here? But what I'm learning from having young adults is now more than anything else, just sometimes just being quiet and listening, you know, and then be a listening ear, and then later on think about how can we fix it, you know, and trusting that everything is going to work out and it's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
It's definitely okay. So would you guys say it's difficult to talk to me now?
Yes.
No. It still is?
No.
It's a lot easier than it would have been in the past, but it still is. It's still kind of a challenge, breaking that barrier and just sitting down and talking.
Okay, so looking at it like this, me and Mommy have had conversations that I wouldn't have ever imagined having. And
Really?
it wasn't even by choice. Like, she just came over one day and she's like, I'm going to talk to you about this, and you're going to listen.
Why didn't you come to me and talk to me?
Because you weren't doing what I was doing. And, yeah, and ever since she's had those conversations with me, I'm like, it can't be as worse as what I did before. So I can talk to her about this, because
That
it's
makes
not
sense.
as high on the level as what she's talked to me about in the past. So, yeah, it gets better the more. That's the thing. It gets better the more you talk to them and the more you tell them, because just when you think that you've told them, oh my gosh.
No, Flo, baby.
No. Okay. So, yeah, you tell them something and it's in a terrible situation, and then you're like, okay, I told her this. This was the worst thing that I've ever done.
We survived.
Yeah, we got past it, and now I know that she can listen to me, and she's not gonna rip my face off if I tell her this. And it just becomes easier, just like practicing something.
Yes, and it's building trust there.
And building
you know,
trust,
as
yeah,
we talk
definitely.
more and more, and we get over hurdles and we get over things, our relationship gets stronger because we've built trust, and you know, we've built a certain expectation. Like, I know for sure I can go to this person and it'll be all right. You know, the worst is over.
Yeah. We got to the worst of it.
We hope. No, let me stop. But yeah, so, and even if harder things come in the future, because you've built this trust and this foundation, you know that it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
You know, that's gonna be all right. And Jaida, I don't think I've ever had anything major that I had to come to you about and be like, okay, we're gonna sit down. I think I've had it with every one of the other kids, with Danielle, with Jonathan.
What's that tell y'all about us?
I feel like it's coming though.
You feel like it's coming? Don't let me know.
Not in that way. Not in like I'm gonna get myself in trouble. But I mean,
It's like unavoidable.
yeah,
It's inevitable, you think?
Yeah.
I don't think it has to be something bad, though.
yeah, no.
It could just be something that we need to talk about. But this is the thing. The same way how you guys are sometimes, what's the word I want to think about?
Nervous?
Hesitant. The same way how you guys are hesitant to come and talk to us, I feel like sometimes we're hesitant to come and talk to y'all. Because
believe that.
it, teenage girls are mean and scary. You could be a whole adult and be scared of your teenage daughter.
I believe it. Teenage girls scare me.
Yeah.
You know, y'all could just go through this mean streak where it's like, you know, I got to deal with this. Okay, so now I might have to prove who's better than who. So I might have to come knock down your door and tell you, listen here, we can have a conversation with a certain, because and I've heard parents say this. I'm not the only person that feels this way. Is sometimes, you know, your teenage daughters, sometimes it could be hard to talk to them, you know, and decided, well, we can just have to do it. We can just have to do it. We just gonna have to have this conversation, especially when it's something that I see. But the thing about it is, when I pray, God always give me insights. Like if something is happening and I decide, okay, I had enough of this. I'm about to go talk to my daddy. I'm about to go pray about this. He always give me insights, and then behind that insight, he give me confidence.
Because you know it's,
He give me the confidence to come and get into that thing. And not only that, he gives me the grace. And because he's given me the grace to deal with it, I'm emotionally and spiritually ready for whatever the conversation is going to be and however it's going to go, because I know that it's going to be okay. You know, God already knows. I asked him for insight. He's given me insight, and now I'm going to come to you. So I think as a parent, part of it is not trying to do it all on your own, because if you try to figure it out all on your own, you might end up feeling like you want to knock somebody's face off.
This is so off topic, but I just realized I'm wearing these beautiful hoop earrings, and this stupid headphone is covering it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
man.
Oh, my gosh. Go like this.
And then she can't hear anything.
She can't hear.
I'll just do it like that.
There you go. At least the camera can catch the cute side. The earring side.
But going back to the topic.
Okay.
I always wondered how you knew about things that we never even
that
told
is
you.
so scary how that.
Yeah, she's whenever we would all sit down and talk, and she would just say things, I'd be flabbergasted. I couldn't let her see me sweat because I didn't want to let her
Tell
know
her yourself.
Yeah, but
you hitting under her nail.
Yeah, she'd be like, she said something dead on, and I'm like, how did you know that? How did you? And that's what got me to be more open to, because I
realized, find out anyway, so
yeah,
you might as well just like what she was saying.
And I would rather tell her how I want to tell her instead of her having to have it be revealed in an abrupt. I don't know how it's revealed to you, but
yeah.
No, I think like I said, you know, when you pray, you get insights. And then I feel like as a parent, you have this superpower that when something goes on with your children, you kind of sort of really feel it. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're in tune and you're engaged, you kind of feel. But sometimes what we end up doing is we end up questioning that feeling. Or we end up saying, nah, not my child.
Yeah.
You know, or this is the devil, or this is not going to happen, or whatever. And then sometimes you don't want to deal with the truth of what God is revealing to you. You know, you're scared to deal with it. So you discount or discard it. But I think one of it is intuition. You get that feeling and you know something is going on with your child. And what y'all don't see is y'all move different. You know, you start acting weird and you're like, why are they doing this? Why are they in their room all the time? Or why is this happening? Or why they don't talk to this friend anymore? Or, you know, what happened with this? Or what happened with that? And you start knowing. But then when you ask and you guys say, oh, nothing. I'm like, oh, okay. So I need a one-on-one with my God. So I go pray, ask God for revelation, and I ask him to reveal it. And then just as a prayer in general, I ask God to help you guys come to me with the things that, you know, are really bothering you, heavy on your heart, and you feel like you can't come. And I ask him, if you can't come, I ask him to provide an opportunity for it to be revealed. You know, like either in a conversation, either in a phone message, either something. Just reveal something to me. And in a letter.
There's so much stuff that I don't know. I'm so confused. You guys have these little subliminal
You'll hear about it.
inside.
You'll hear about it.
Yes, you'll hear about it soon enough. But, you know, I think that with each and every one of you, I think we have our thing, because we do our ride thing where we ride and we talk about everything and stuff like that. But I think for the boys and for Jazmine, we've had because of things that you guys would have experienced, we've had our own kind of bonding and develop our own inside thing through that bonding.
Trauma bonding.
Trauma bonding. That's the thing.
Trauma, but not really trauma.
but not major trauma.
Yeah.
Low kid, not emergency room trauma.
Yeah.
You know, just
Spiritual trauma.
And you know, so I think the prayer is one thing. A mother's intuition is definitely a thing, and just wanting to know and just wanting to relieve you guys of that stress and let you guys know that, hey, I realize that you're going through something, and you can come and you can talk to me, and I'm your friend. I'm not here to judge you. You know, I'm not here to condemn you. I'm here to protect you. I want to get into whatever fight you're fighting. I want to get into that fight with you. You know, I don't want you to be in there by yourself, tussling around with the enemy or with your thoughts or with everything else. I want to be one of the people that you can tag, and they can come in the fight with you. And sometimes that's all you need. But sometimes you don't know that's what you need, because the enemy is over here telling you a whole bunch of lies.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not listening to your parents' voice, if you're not hearing your parents' voice, you're hearing somebody else's voice. And 9 out of 10 times is the enemy. 9 out of 10 times he's the one that's talking to you and telling you things that's going against your relationship with your parent. Because after your parent has had a big freak out, they're going to come right back down. And y'all gonna sit down. They can't stay up there forever. They're going to come right back down. They might need some time to think about it. I'm glad that I've come to a place in my life, and I'm glad that I got here sooner than later, where I'm just like, okay,
yeah,
let's just talk about it. And I think the boys do it. After Daniel called me and totaled his second car, I was like, you know, what else can who can top that? You know what I'm saying? Totaling 2 cars. And then, you know, he was hiding from me when I got to the scene of when he totaled the second car. He was hiding behind the police officer, and he was like, "Please don't."
I heard he was more scared of you than the police officer.
Yeah, he was telling the police officer, "My mom is gonna kill me," and I'm like, "Send him over here. Send him over here." The police officer's like, "It's long, Mom. I know that you're mad. Just don't put your hands on him." And I'm like, I just want him to come over here.
That's the worst.
No, when they're calm, you're expecting a meltdown, and they're like, "It's okay, just come. You can tell me. Just go on." And then they're like,
"No, you're scared for your life." But I think after getting practice with Daniel, you know, you guys were easy to navigate.
That's the other thing. We don't have an older sister.
right?
None of this stuff hasn't happened with the girls, so there's nothing. Everything is completely new for you, Mommy, and
yes,
for us.
Everything is new. But the good thing is we can walk through this new process together.
And the good thing is you're a woman, so most of the things that we go through, you have experienced most of it.
Yeah, most of it. And then whatever I haven't experienced, we can experience together.
Yeah.
You know, we can just be like, okay, this is a new experience. Let's navigate it. And I mean anything. I mean drugs. I mean sex. I mean, I wouldn't want certain things to happen. But if you're dealing with it, let's deal with it together. Mm-hmm. You know, whatever it's dating. One day y'all gonna be married, parenting, whatever it is. Let's just do it together. There's no need for you to hide or feel. I want to be in the ring with y'all. When y'all tag me, we come in, we fight, we handle this thing together. So
yeah, the devil can make you feel so weak when you hide and you just keep everything to yourself. I remember I used to go through that. I would be so tired, like physically and mentally. I'd just be so tired.
It's hard keeping stuff to yourself and not having to reveal it. That's not the reason why. Yeah, where you always
do extra work to take care of things, make sure this thing doesn't happen, make sure this thing doesn't show up. And then when it's all out there, you're just like, you can breathe, and you know you're not fighting by yourself anymore. Mm-hmm. And you know that the lies that the devil was telling you, that they're not going to respect you or love you anymore, it's all a lie, and you can see that for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because for the most part, I think that parents, we're going to love our children through whatever. You know, we might have to work it through it. We have to navigate ourselves through it. But we're going to love you through it anyhow, because we know that you're human beings and you're working through it. It's just that sometimes we're working through it too. We're trying to figure ourselves out and find at the end of whatever is happening as well. So talk to your parents. Talk to your children. You know, as a parent, try to listen, because they need us. And either they need us in the beginning or we can be there in the end. But it's better for us to be there up front so we can minimize some of the damage and some of the chaos and stuff like that. And then, like you said, the bombarding of the enemy, just making you feel like you're not good enough or you're not going to be loved, the lies and stuff like that. You gotta fight that. Push past it. So telling the truth, and that's what the Bible said. There's know the truth, and the truth shall set them free. And that's what we have to push to operate in a certain level of truth, even though it's pain. And most importantly, you have to know. I've established this with my family, and you can establish it with yours. We can survive the truth. Whatever the truth is, we can survive it. We're not going to die because you've come to us and come clean about something, or you've told us the truth about something. We're not going to die. We're going to survive it. We're going to work through it. We're going to love through it. And we're going to live through it.
Parents always have the answers that you need. You may not think you need them, but they always, beyond the shadow of a doubt, they always have the answer that you need.
Yeah, I have something to confess.
Oh, confess.
I do drugs.
Maybe if you were shaking and we were missing something from the house, I think you're pretty okay. The only drugs I know you do is probably candy.
Oh yeah.
You gotta get rid of that sugar.
You gotta get rid of that Coke. Coca-Cola.
On that note, it's been real because nobody talks about my Coke. I'm gonna drink me a Coca-Cola. But you know what? I'm doing better. No, did I had some? I didn't have no Coke today.
I heard you open something that was fizzy earlier. I heard.
What? I swear I gotta go over the job.
What you drinking? Trying to see.
Oh yes, I did.
Yeah.
I had some leftover Coke. Well, tomorrow is another day. We'll try again.
Yeah.
We'll try again. If I can get it down to like 3 days a week, then maybe every other day, and then move back to 2 days and then 1 day. But who knows? We'll see how it goes.
This was a lot less weird than I thought it would be. Just like talking to your parents.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's all in your head. Yeah. So with that being said, this has been another episode of the Me MaDukes Podcast. We will see you on the next one. Bye.
Hey, so that's it. Thank you for watching today's episode. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. New episodes drop Wednesdays each week. Remember to hit the notification button so you never miss when we post. See you later. Bye.